devaluation debate. Why do countries want their currencies to be weak? What are the advantages or disadvantages?
Well, as a technical analyst, it's sort of neither here nor there. What I do is always watch out for the currencies that are devaluing a lot, because all things being equal, their stock markets will go up by the same amount as the devaluation. In other words, it corrects for the devaluation. Also, the fixed income market will drop by the same amount as the devaluation, i.e. it all sort of matches up. Why do people want to devalue? Well, I think they're a bit silly, really, because for some it is a good thing. For others, of course, it's just destroying your wealth, your purchasing power of salaries, and all the rest of it. But I think it's based on this rather ancient trade, export, import idea that too many politicians think underpins the benefit to your society. In other words, they still haven't moved on from a widget-based economy to a service-based economy, and they believe that by shunting widgets overseas, your people will be more prosperous and live better. Well, you can see from my tone of voice probably that I disagree with the whole concept, and it's an absolute race to the bottom for everybody. But there you are. We are right now today in the middle of a currency war, and I blame it on this old-fashioned economics that permeates politics and permeates NGO-type organisations, groupthink that they all have. And it's a race to the bottom. I mean, we've seen it now in extremes in Venezuela, in Argentina. This year, I mean, absolute extreme race to the bottom. Russia. But let's not kid ourselves. Much closer to home, we've got the pound down by about 13% in the last 6 months alone. So that's basically just wiped against the dollar, of course, because against the euro it's a bit, different. But, that's just wiped off 13% of everything that Britain has. I mean, is that good business? It can't possibly be, so I'll leave it there.
The US dollar's recent strength against a number of currencies raises the spectre of a scenario along the lines of the late 90s Asian financial crisis.
Possibly. I don't think here history will repeat itself. It's a different beast. And the beast is the dollar, which is a widely traded, widely held store of value traditionally. Incorrectly so, by the way, but anyway, that's the way it's seen, and as a unit of account. So all of these things were not the case for the Thai baht or the Malaysian ringgit or the Singapore dollar during the Asian crisis. So no, it's not the same. Now, Americans, I think, are only just starting to wake up to the consequences of the dollar that has strengthened quite significantly over these last 6 months. I think they've only just woken up to this. We're beginning to see it in the financial results of some very large companies reporting now. I was absolutely horrified to see that the shares in Ralph Lauren yesterday dropped 18% because of the profit warning, because of the problem with the dollar and translation of export profits. I mean, it really has hit extremely, and it's starting to bite now, and people are beginning to be aware of it. Traditionally, the Americans like to point fingers and accuse people of currency manipulation and this, that and the other. The reality is one of the worst performing currencies over the last 100 years, after the pound, is actually the US dollar. And so it's not an accident that in the UK we now have 99p shops and Poundland. In the States, instead of having the 5 and dime that they did in 1914, where you could buy just about anything that Woolworths wanted to sell for either 5 cents or 10 cents, now you have the dollar store. That is your mass market shopping heaven. And so, yes, the US dollar really has dropped to 10% of its original face value in the last 100 years.